Hi, I'm Ethan Forbes. I'm based out of Cedar Park. I'm 22 years old, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a controls technician for building automation solutions.
What do you make currently?
What do I make currently? I make $31 an hour. I think that comes out to $70,000 a year off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I see here, actually, you sent me a pay stub.
Yes, sir.
Which is great. So 31, and then is this overtime? Potential overtime? Okay, so we got 40 hours and then 2.75 hours of overtime. And the rate for overtime is 46. So it goes from 31 to 46, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's killer. How much overtime do you normally get? Because obviously that's not that much, but...
On slow months, I typically clock about 5 extra hours a week. It depends on the project and what stipulates from it. But on heavy projects in which we're working just nonstop, I can expect anywhere between 60 to 70.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome.
Not just OT, but yes, sir.
Yeah. So what we had here were earnings of 1,240 plus the overtime of 127. But that, of course, is your gross. And then we get the lovely federal taxes and all the goodies. And then you have some contributions as well. You have a savings plan. Yep. And life insurance. Looks like. Let's see here. And then we have total. Okay, so here's your total gross. For this, now, are you paid weekly, bi-weekly?
I'm paid weekly.
Weekly, okay, because that definitely changes the perspective here, and that makes sense because it's 40 hours. So current 1,367, then your taxable gross is 1,308.41. Total taxes taken away from you, 241.17. With deductions of 231. Net pay on a weekly basis, and I'm going to use this for your average, even though you have up or down, but this is what we have in front of me. Your take home, $926.
Yep.
Which would come out to take home of about $48,152 a year.
Yeah, Texas hurts.
They do. Which will get us just about $4,000 a month.
That's the one.
Just over. And that feels about right?
Yep.
For you? Okay. How do you feel living off of $4,000 a month?
$4,000 a month for the poor rent choice that I made of buying a nicer apartment hurts. But
you did? Okay.
I did.
Buying or renting?
Not buying, renting. Okay. My apologies. But I have a partner, and she pretty much mirrors exactly the income that I have.
Okay. What does she do?
She is a robotics technician for micro semiconductor processing plant. She's a lot smarter than me, man. But
yeah, but look, I mean, same value of income.
So that's a lot nicer. And to be honest, I feel like we've been playing with that income a little bit more than we should have, and we probably should be buckling down a little bit more for given plans.
Well, you say partner. Are you married or
no, sir?
Okay. How long have you all been together?
We've been together for 4 years now.
4 years.
Yes,
marriage in the horizon.
Well, she's gonna watch this, but between you and me, yeah, probably.
Well, I'm sure you guys have had a conversation.
There has been conversations.
Okay. Yes, yeah, because 4 years, I mean, there's certainly nothing to rush into for anyone. It's up to each individual and each couple, but
trying to make sure that we're comfortable. We moved in with each other just to make sure that we can stand each other. If we
when'd you guys move in?
That trigger. We've been living together for the past year now.
No murders?
No murders. She's come very close to murdering me. The clothes on the floor she cannot stand.
Fair enough.
But aside from that, in total we bring home about $8,000 together a month.
Yeah. So you said you got into a stupid expensive rent.
Yes.
What's stupid expensive?
Utilities and rent in total is going to be about $2,400 a month.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Just as a general concept. And you're not even like in the main part of town by any means. You're not like a distant suburb.
I'm in Cedar Park.
Yeah. Nice place?
Very nice place.
2 bedrooms.
Yeah, 2 bedrooms. We have our own office. It's worth the expansion to help make sure we don't murder each other, but...
So you all split that down the middle now?
We split everything right down the middle. Yes, sir.
I mean, it's right on it. It is right on it from an individual level as pretend you were married. It's 30% of all your take homes, and each individual, your split is 30% of the take homes because you guys have the same income. So, but either way, that's right on the cusp. If it was any higher, I would definitely not be happy. I prefer it to be closer to about 25% because it gives you more flexibility in your needs category and hitting other goals. But obviously, crap. Yeah. Well, so you all have had conversations of marriage. Have we had conversations of purchasing a place?
We are in the talks of, by the end of this year, we want to be looking at a down payment.
Really?
On a house, yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're both setting aside $1,500 a month.
I saw $1,500 a month is being set aside?
Yeah, each, yes, sir.
Even though you have these debts that we're going to talk about?
Yes, I see this leading in here.
Confused.
Yeah. So
wait, how much is set aside in this pile on your end?
On my end, I currently have $2,000. We're halfway through February, so
how much are you setting aside a month? $1,500 each, you said?
Yes, sir.
So you just started?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We had the talk on January 1st saying this is what we're going to do. This is our plan for the future.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then actually, before we jump into your finances, I want to hear from your perspective before I give my take on it. Where do you think your finances are? How would you define your financial situation?
I think they're all over the place. I think I'm able to keep a pretty good lead on things, but I'm kind of directionless. I have some big ideas and I have some big plans, but the biggest thing is I'm still young, and I'm going to attribute that to having a harder time wrangling the finances and being more responsible with it than I should be.
What do you think is making you irresponsible or having a hard time wrangling your finances, as you said?
I really like shiny things, dude. I'm going to be really honest with you. So the shiny things are nice, and the paycheck at the end of the week is...
So what are the things that are shiny that you like?
Mainly tools. So I like to buy facets to help develop other interests and hobbies. So I bought a 3D printer to try to do tool production and create what do you call them, little models to help concept ideas. I've probably been investing more in that than I wanted to, but I feel like it's a skill that I can build out and learn. So no return on that yet, but it might be useful.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at your checking account. So about just under 1,100 in there, and you essentially have all the money that comes in goes out
pretty much,
and then it just sits around that $1,000 mark. Okay. I mean, as the checking account balance goes, it's not the scariest. It's not even close to the scariest we've seen. I like to have probably about a few thousand in there, but yeah. And of course, you guys are not combined right now.
No, we have separate accounts in a joint that we pay bills with.
Okay. Would you say, well, actually, never mind. It doesn't matter. This is about you. And in here, we have, other than a few transfers back and forth and a couple of times getting grocery and utilities, I mean, everything's just spent on conveniences and fun and not even shiny things. We're talking about getting lunch at Varella's and having Starbucks and taking the toll roads and Thunderbirds and cash apping out and door dashing. That's a very expensive thing to do. And the Mungatai and Waterloo and, going on toll roads again and sending out some Patreon monies and Moonies, Summer Moon, which is a coffee place, Steam Games, going on the toll roads, Buddy's Burr, Lone Star, Starbucks, Thunderbird, Amazon Prime, Starbucks, Inside something, Cash Apping out, having some Dairy Queen, and driving on those toll roads again, which is, again, very expensive way to get around because it's not required here, but it is sometimes a faster way. Then we have things like car payments, and then we have internet transfer. You called this repayment from partner that came in?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was money that was in. Okay, so you paid for something and she paid you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. And then bills and rent. Oh, that's right. Okay, because that's your half. Okay. And she pays for it and then you transfer it?
No, I believe that repayment I had tire issue with my vehicle, and she had the cash on hand. So we just had a short exchange between that, and that was that. Okay. That's what I got.
And if you want to exchange something today, exchange clicking that subscribe button, because I'm trying to get to 250,000 subscribers. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. Are you subscribed?
Yes, sir.
Good lad. Good lad. Okay. We're spending a lot on BS and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And is this the having trouble wrangling things together that you're talking about?
It's not the having trouble wrangling. It's, well, If I have to be honest with you, yes, at that point. So most of those food expenditures that you see are just either off days where I haven't had time to go to the grocery store. The leftovers have run out.
Well, these off days are like every other day.
Yes, sir.
So by off day, you mean every other day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough. So it's hard because I do work in fields, so at construction sites or whatever job I'm getting tripped up on my words, but whatever the site requires, I'm not in an office. So either my lunch doesn't go far enough. I typically pack a sack lunch of a sandwich, apple, granola bar, whatever. And by that middle period, it's especially lately during this January freeze, it was cold and hungry. It was cold and wet outside. So I have spent a little bit more on coffee than I'm willing to admit. But
did you lose power?
No.
Then brew freaking coffee.
You're totally right.
Okay.
You're totally right.
That was an interesting way to excuse.
I know.
And DoorDash, what are we doing? Why are we spending $45 to get food delivered to your place?
I have no excuse for that.
Okay. Now, all this stuff, to be very clear, is not necessarily the worst thing ever. Just depends on the overarching financial situation, and we will see what that looks like as we go through everything. Spoiler, there are debts. So when there are debts like this, and there are goals like trying to get to a house and stuff like that, we don't do this.
Yes.
This doesn't make sense.
It's a bad habit, yes.
Yeah, it's a bad habit. Do you think it's a habit that you would have trouble breaking?
No, not at all.
You don't think so? Bad habit for me.
I don't set... I've used this meeting with us. I allowed myself to play around until we had this meeting. I saw that I had some extra cash in reserve. I know that I probably should have been working towards an emergency fund. I'm sure we're going to hit on that. An emergency fund, paying off debts, whatever. It's just been a little bit easier to know that once we have this meeting, I'll have a hard deadline. And then after this will be the turnaround point. And this is where we can launch from.
Okay, well, as long as you actually do, that's what matters. Okay, let's talk about that savings. Let's talk about that emergency fund. You said there's about $2,000 set aside. Is that it? Is that the total?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you just started.
Yes, sir.
Have you come into a situation? Well, I mean, you're pretty young, 24, you said, right?
22.
22. Okay, wow, even younger. So you probably haven't encountered a situation where an emergency fund and not having it has harmed you.
I have had one emergency situation where my clutch exploded, and I drive a Euro car, so getting that replaced was about $2,500. And I fortunately had enough saved there, and I've been trying to replenish it from that point. But
okay, well, bad news about this house.
Yeah.
Emergency fund comes before house fund.
Yes.
So really, you're just saving up to save up for the down payment.
A step to a step.
Home. Yeah. Okay. Before we get into the debts, though, we should look at some, and what I'm assuming is potentially a 401k and a rollover 401k, or like a 401k and a Roth IRA type situation.
Yes, sir. Just a 401k, and then the Edward Jones you're looking at is just an
extra brokerage
venture. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Let's take a look. Also, shout out to you because you are probably going to be put on blast a little bit in the debt section, but shout out to you for coming on here, being financially transparent for everyone who can relate to your situation and everything like that, and then also reaching out to get help for your finances.
I have some people that I really care about in my life, and I want to do it right, and I don't want to f it up.
I love that.
Sorry if you are going to put that in and you have to bleep that.
Well, I swear all the time. We just bleep it out. It's okay. I have a potty mouth. They're just words. It doesn't matter.
All right, let me strap down. Let's do it.
So this is just your random brokerage, though.
Yes, sir.
So $5,488. Why do you not have like a Roth IRA?
I do have a Roth IRA.
Okay.
Based
I just don't have it.
Based out of the Fidelity 401k, it's the post-tax.
Okay.
And that's where I put the majority of my money. It's a 10% contribution per paycheck.
But it's not a Roth IRA. This is a 401k that you're talking about.
You are entirely right. I'm sorry. I got my wires crossed.
We will talk about that then, because I would definitely want you to make sure you have a tax advantage count in an IRA.
Okay. All right, let's do it then.
But for now, this is a brokerage. And in here, this is interesting. So we just have a few bonds, New World F3. I don't even know what that is. Government obligations, PRM, JH discipline, JP Morgan large cap. Okay, so And then Lord Abet Growth. I don't have Edwards Jones, so some of their funds I'm not too familiar with. But in terms of, obviously, we know what the JP Morgan large cap is.
That is not managed by me. I work with a financial.
You have
advisor.
a dude there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's interesting.
I actually met with her yesterday.
I usually don't like seeing bonds. Again, I don't know some of these. I usually don't like seeing bonds, not investment advice, in younger age. Doesn't really make sense. Makes sense more to go fully aggressive when young and then level it out.
Okay.
Things like that. And a good version of that is actually what you have in your 401k, because what pretty much everything in your 401k is a Vanguard Target 2060 fund. And those funds are fantastic for people who just don't want to like think about their investing, which is perfect. You put the money in. It's based on the year 2060. It's going to be much more aggressive now in the early years, and it's going to level out to more conservative thing as it gets closer to that retirement date.
Right.
So that's personally what I like, instead of, trying to get all these micromanaged craziness. But either way, in the 401k, we have 7,466, employee contribution 4,000, and employer contribution 3,000. So you're contributing a little higher than the match?
Our match is 6%. I go 10%.
And you do 10%. Okay. And it looks like you had a mix of Roth and traditional.
That's the one.
Okay, cool. Now, your taxes are actually low enough where I think it would make more sense for you to be more Roth than traditional. In terms of both your IRA and 401k, in terms of how much money you can save on potential taxes in traditional, your tax rate is not high enough where it would offset the potential gains you would have from paying taxes going in and not paying taxes on taking the money out in a Roth format.
Okay.
Potentially. It's usually like 35%. That's where it's like, start thinking about it. And then if it's above that 35%, especially over 40%, then it's like, it makes a little more sense going into traditional and taking advantage of some tax savings on the year.
Okay.
But let's see. Do we have anything else in here, or is it all in the 2060?
I have 2060, and I have a tech stock as well.
Oh, a singular tech stock?
It's our company tech stock.
Oh.
I have it blurred out though.
Oh, it's 50-50. It's split 50-50.
I've looked at our annualized year return on the tech stock.
I know, but it's just so unbalanced. An individual stock, a singular individual stock, should not represent more than 5% of your overall portfolio. And this represents at least 25% of everything combined.
So based off right now, what do you suggest doing?
So is it automatic when it happens that it gets divested into?
All I have to do is go to Fidelity and change the contributions, and it does it same day.
If you're going to continue contributing to the brokerage, 90% to the 2060, 10% to the tech stock.
Okay.
If you really want to.
Okay. Well, would 80-20 be acceptable? Just to see where the direction we're going with our company, and
you'll still be in it, and you're already. You're already leveraged so high in it where just like go 10% for a bit. Okay. Because that keeps you eventually. That will hopefully level out to your entire portfolio being about 5% of a single stock. It's just too heavily dependent on the performance of that stock, where your portfolio is just gonna. If the company's stock just goes down for whatever reason, it just tanks your portfolio, which isn't going to matter right now in the long term for you, honestly, mostly. But still, it's just an overbalance, and it's not typically what.
That is a change that I can make.
They advise. Okay, so, but good. I'm glad we do have some things in investments. Again, we have about 5,488 in the brokerage, and we have 7,476 in the 401k. So good.
All right.
Not good, the debts. So let's get into those, and let's get some more insight into these. And then I do want to come back to that Roth IRA, but
I would love to.
Yeah. So, it's a little bit more of the investment. We don't need to see that anymore. We have a couple things. We have 2 credit cards.
Yes, sir.
Oh, 3 credit cards, but 2 credit cards is listed on this. So first one is one with a balance. Current balance $3,122, and you only made a payment of $200.
Yes, sir. So that is the credit card with a 10% APR right now. I know that this is the going on a leg part, but I did make my monthly expenditure for the first of a $300 payment. The $200 I was still recovering from the Christmas, and my birthday was on January 30th, so I spent a little bit more than I wanted to there. But I do have a monthly payment set for $300.
$300. I don't get it. So honestly, I'll be completely honest. Why the fuck are you going to Starbucks? Why are you going to all that crap? Why are you even contributing to a brokerage right now? I understand the 401k always take the match because it's 100% return guaranteed, much better than a 10% interest. But either way, why are you going to all that stuff? And why are you only paying $200 on here? And even worse, why are you going to Total Wine and More? Why are we traveling yearly annual vacation as you listed? I don't give a that you need to go on an annual vacation. Lupe Tortilla, love it. But still, you shouldn't be going there in Wise Guy, Chicago. This makes no sense. And these are HEB centers marked as dining out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when I saw that originally, I was like, he's just going to HEB getting some groceries, but no, this is stupid. This makes no sense. If you are having $3,000 being subject to 10% interest, why are you doing all this? Why are you still spending on it when you're losing 10%? And why are we going and having fun?
I guess if we wanted to talk about the rationality behind what I had there.
Sure.
That credit card's leveraged at 30%, and that's what I was expected to do, and what I felt comfortable with, and what I read about the credit cards, what I should be doing. Keep it at or below.
Well, you're talking about the impact on your credit score. I'm talking about the impact of you're losing 10%. Sorry, continue. I
definitely am losing that 10%, and you're 100% right. I've been using that for a lot more fun than I probably should have been. The annual vacation, that does make sense. I should not be going on that.
Nope.
And I shouldn't have been racking up the credit card debt. But it was, at the end of the day, the only thing that I can tell you is I saw the credit card and I fell into that trap, and I said, as long as I don't go above 30%, I can pay it off and work it off, and I can still comfortably make the investments and payments that I need.
But you clearly... So you would rather have all these Starbucks purchases and door dashing and annual vacations than paying off this debt at 10% interest?
I've been on...
And what's the point of continuing to invest anyway? Because guess what? The 10% that the S&P 500 is making on average, it's...
No, you're bang on right. I've just seen it as play right now. I'm going to be honest with you.
You've seen it as play so far.
I've been directionless. I'm making a ton of money. I'm going to have fun every Friday night. I'm going to go to the HEB Center, have hockey games. I'm going to go eat with my friends. Yeah, the Stars played. We won. But no, you're totally right. I've been using this credit card as a golden ticket, and I'm here talking to you because I want to get this straightened out, and I need somebody to grab me by the ear and say, this is what we need to do to fix it.
Well, this is what we need to do. We're cutting down on bullshit, but we'll get there for a second. Oh, guess what? There was more. There was a second page of even more
you can put that page down.
It doesn't make sense. We're getting soup and tacos and In-N-Out. First of all, In-N-Out, come on. And Starbucks. We're getting more Starbucks than was even in our checking account. And Taco Shack and water vending. We already have $3,000 in debt at 10% interest, and we're going to a vending machine.
You're totally right.
Oh, okay. So $3,100 essentially, with a minimum payment of and a pending balance of $300 coming in. So that's higher than the $200.
No. That $300 is my payment.
Oh, okay. Good.
Almost got chewed out there.
I was about to be so upset. Okay. But the last statement amount was $1,821, and you made a $200 payment, and it's gone up to $3,000.
You're right.
So we're ballooning it.
Yes.
I do like this credit card more because, congratulations, we only have $10 on it.
I paid that off.
Good.
I actually forgot that I had that service, and I made sure to get rid of it. Okay, and now I know this is the one that's going to hurt the most here coming up.
What is this? Is this attached to this? These the same things?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So you must have been doing a lot of purchases on this card then, right?
I was primarily focusing on using the credit cards and paying it off at the end of the month to try to get the credit going as best as I can.
What's BH Management?
B&H Management is our, rent.
So you pay that through the credit card?
May I see that charge just so that I don't...
Yeah, let's make sure this is attached to the right thing.
Management. Yep. So this is our rent payment, and I had to make the off-the-cuff payment because our joint account got hacked or scammed, whatever, and I had to make sure that payment made through because we had to do the account verification. It took a week. So I know that's not best practice, but that's what I had.
Okay, and then money came from savings into here. At least that's what it says.
Yes.
So we're taking from savings.
The rest of the savings, yes. You're right.
Okay.
This is the one that hurts. Yep.
This is the one that hurts?
Yeah.
1,000. Well, the balance is lower, 1,070.
Yeah,
It's
but
the interest rate that
but the
hurts.
utilization is at 80% right now. I came here to be honest with you.
Good, thank you. The only way to get help is to lay it all up front with a $40 minimum monthly payment.
I just made a $300 payment to that on the first as well.
Good luck.
So we're at $700 left.
Good.
370 for the comments that are going to say it's actually a $370 payment.
Gotcha. Now, again, I don't understand. If we have a card that we were trying to pay off, why are we having purchases and purchases and purchases and purchases and gifts and holiday? I can't see everything, but
I know it was Christmas gifts, personalized items for friends and family.
Interest charge on purchases of $25.
0% APR right now for the year on this card. So I know.
So Amazon card, you're doing the stupid financing.
This is the official Amazon Prime card. It was the 0% APR for the year, and they also have the option of 0% APR or the 5% cash back.
Right.
And that interest must have been accrued through a large 5% cashback purchase that I made, which I know is I am losing money with that $25.
Yes. So what's the point if we're trying? What I am trying to get to, because we can pay all these off because these balances are not crazy. But if we're not to a point, you're in a position where you want to pay these off. You know you want to pay these off. I see you making larger payments than the minimum monthly payments, but you're still putting money on the cards. Why are we doing that? If we cannot get to why we're doing that and change that, then we are never going to actually fix the problem long term.
I haven't been taking it seriously. I've up until now, I've just been using it as play. I've been paying my bills, being happy with what I have, and I haven't really had the motivation or the drive to go much further. And that's the God honest truth. I've got nothing else to say.
Okay. I'm nervous of you having credit cards because you haven't demonstrated being responsible enough to have credit cards.
Yes.
I, in your situation, would chop them up and get rid of them.
Okay.
And then maybe, if you show financial responsibility for years, then you can get back into the credit card world.
Okay.
But right now, it is not a tool that's helping you.
So what would create it to be an effective tool? So
once you're able to officially, when you are able to demonstrate that you are able to manage your money, be on a strict budget and everything like that, then you can use credit cards and take advantage of rewards and paying them off on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Right now, they are not even close to paid off on a monthly basis.
So where do we go from here? What's the way to fix this?
Well, we'll talk about that, but there is one more thing. We need to get through all the finances. We have a car debt.
Yes.
Vehicle debt.
Yes, we do.
Now, I see the original loan balance of $9,430. What's it at right now?
$4,500.
Good. And that's because...
It should be at 36
Yeah,
months.
you started it in 2021. 2024 is... I'm glad it's 36 months. Now, the interest rate is in a questionable position. I'm sorry, say the balance one more time.
$4,500.
Okay. Yeah, because the interest rate's at 5.99%, 6%. There's many reasons not to go into car debt. In terms of taking out leverage on a depreciating asset, in terms of monthly payments in general. And the main reason I'm more against it is because when people, instead of just buying a car in cash, take out money to get a car, they would get a more expensive car. They justify getting a more expensive car, more upgrades than they would just buying a car in cash.
Right.
So, but I understand there's also a logic of getting a car. If you're able to truly be disciplined and you get a car, the same exact car that you would get in cash, and you invest the rest. If you finance it instead, you invested the rest. There's math around it. Now, usually the interest rate for that is like 4% being the cutoff in terms of invest or pay off more aggressively, 4 to 5%. You're at 6%, so you're above that.
Right.
But it's not an insane interest rate. Just you're not 100% guaranteed in all instances in the market to beat it necessarily by investing versus paying off early.
Oh, that makes sense.
That being said, your minimum monthly payments up to this point, they've likely pretty much tackled all the interest, and now the rest is principal-ish.
Right.
About. So it's in a questionable position, and that's why I'm situation to situation, not one size fits all. What is the car?
The car is a 2011 Volkswagen GTI. It's a fun little toy car. I don't drive it as a daily driver, though.
Work car?
I have a work truck. The job position has changed where I was required to drive every single day for my last job.
Okay.
So that car got a lot more usage. Right now, it's just a weekend warrior.
How many miles?
120. We just clocked 120.
That's another thing I don't like having debt on. I don't like having debt on a higher mile car.
You are right.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets wrecked, your insurance will cover it, but...
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm paying, I believe, $150, $180 a month for full coverage. So
okay, plus $300 minimum monthly payment on this.
Yes, sir.
Just about, a little under, but just about. So I can only talk about your financial situation, not your partner's financial situation, not you both together.
Hers is golden. Like she has no
No,
debts.
it's good to know. It's good to know.
She has $9,000 in student loans, and that's it. And I've seen it before, where fingers crossed, but you know that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to get forgiven.
No.
So, your question, where do we go from here?
Right.
And that is the important thing. Well, right out the gate, none of this is going to get fixed unless we start addressing some of the problems at hand, and the symptoms that are being shown with those problems are you spending too much on DoorDash and Starbucks, including on cards that are already having balances that you want to pay off. Budget. A strict budget, at least for your money. It would be great if you guys can start doing that together if marriage is in the future.
She already has an Excel sheet.
Okay, good. So yeah, just thinking about your money and the $4,000, we're going to budget. I mean, immediately 1,200 goes to rent. That kind of sucks. So let's build out your budget a little.
Okay.
1,200 to rent. About 450 to car payment and the insurance. Probably, well, because your daily driver is the company car. So what would you say you do on gas for your personal car a month? 50, 100?
$50.
So we'll call it 500 for the car then.
Unless I drive like an animal, and then it's more.
And then you have some minimum monthly payments. One, I'm not 100% sure what it is on one of the cards. And then one, it was like $20.
I never pay them minimum monthly. I always try to go at least 50% to 100% more.
Well, we're going to prioritize our money. So for one of them, you'll probably hit your minimum monthly payment only.
Okay.
But I just don't know what there is. We're just going to call them 100 just to be extra safe for your minimum monthly payment on credit cards. Now, how do you do your food and grocery situation at your household right now? How is it done?
Food and groceries, I typically do the shopping and the cooking.
She doesn't put anything towards it?
Oh, no. She I just do the chores. She helps pay. We split that right down the middle. We typically spend about $100 every week or so.
Each?
No, in total.
Oh, so your grocery spending would be $200?
A month, yes, sir.
Okay, then if you're going to say that.
Oh, no, he's writing it down. That's in stone now.
It is. So groceries, we'll add an extra 100 for toilet paper and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That 409 is expensive, man.
Yeah, so we have 1,200 for rent, 500 for car, 100 minimum monthly payments on credit cards, $200 for groceries, $100 for all the extra things you need. So, and then health insurance that comes out of your paycheck, right?
I don't even see it. It just
okay, cool. But it's not something you yeah. Anything else that
I do have an HSA though. If that's I don't know where you'd fit that in, but
I mean.
I don't actively contribute to it. The company automatically helps with that. So I consider that a part of the emergency fund. I have $4,000 in the HSA right now. I don't know if that affects your calculations. I'm so sorry for forgetting.
That's I wouldn't count that as a part of your emergency fund because it won't cover everything in the world. It's health related. Because emergencies can be a wide variety.
Large slew of things. I sorry to throw a wrench in here. I just
no, it doesn't. 2,100. That's your minimum payments in order to survive on a monthly basis, which leaves you with 1,900. Mm-hmm. Good. With 1,900, fantastic. What are we doing?
Paying off debt.
The Amazon card this month is paid off.
You got it.
And then you already have 3,000 sitting in an emergency fund. We'll keep that. We'll keep that there, and we'll start paying off this debt. So, and then the remainder besides that 700 to the Amazon card, the other 1,200 will go to paying 1,200 of the 3,100 other card.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next month, what's remaining from that? So that'll be March, first half of March. Well, you'll fully paid off that 10% interest card.
Okay.
And then from there, so where I'm stuck is the car debt. Mm-hmm. The payoff date, instead of going crazy, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what you're thinking, but I mentioned it in our email, I think, but during the summer, I run a weekend job, and that probably brings in about an extra $750 a week. And I run that for 3 months. So awesome. If we're looking at paying off larger debts, like the car payment, we could definitely factor that in.
Well, the car, what I'm trying to do, since it has higher miles and stuff like that, but you're also not forced to rely on it for your daily driver. But of course, if you lose your job, then you lose that daily driver, and then this becomes a daily driver. Right. All this stuff. There's a lot of things in there. So it is an inherent risk. The risk just isn't extreme. Mm-hmm. I think what I would personally do, it's a $300 minimum monthly payment now. I would just amp that to $600. We just try to pay it off a little quicker, but we're not going insane.
What's your reasoning behind that?
Because most of the interest already been paid. Mm-hmm. It's not your daily driver. Mm-hmm. And because since the interest has already been paid, well, the reason why we're doing that versus the minimum monthly payment is because there is an inherent risk there. But since the risk isn't extreme, we're only doubling the payment and we're like investing the rest. Maybe if you want to go higher, if you want to just pay it off, you can. If you want to just go crazy for a few months. By the way, it should be clear in that budget, we did not have eating out or Starbucks at all.
We did not have what?
Eating out or Starbucks at all.
Yes, sir.
And that's fine. But that's only through like the end of a few months.
If it's a habit that I can build and solidify where I'm not eating out, because I do value like a weekly takeout.
You'll get there very soon, though.
Like with my girlfriend. And I understand that. I want to solidify a habit where I'm not going to Starbucks like ever again, or as limited as possible. So I think this would be a good time to solidify that now and just get in the habit of I can get.
If that's something you want, then that's fine. Okay. If that's something you want to do. I don't have a problem with you going to Starbucks at some point because you can fit in a fun category, but you just can't not fit in a fun category right now.
Right.
So at that point, the credit cards will be halfway through next month. The credit cards will be done. Yes, sir. You'll double your car payment at that point. But with the minimum monthly payments on the cards gone, we can't have fun starting yet. Okay. We're going to say you have about $1,500 left now because you're doubling the car payment, but the credit card payments are gone. $1,600 left. I want you for yourself to get to a basic starter emergency fund. No, we'll get your emergency fund to a good place with what it costs for your rent. Kind of poo rent.
Yeah, it's not great.
I want you to get to $12,000, but you only need $9,000 to get there. Okay. Divide that by the $1,600. Meaning in 5 months 6 months from now, but 5 months from middle of next month, 5.5 months or so, you'll have that $12,000 emergency fund. Okay. Now you can go crazier and cut back on other things if you want to. You can go crazier and, put all your summer job towards that, get another job if you want to. You can do whatever it takes to get there quicker. But if every single month looks exactly like this month that we've budgeted out, it'll take 5.5 months from middle of next month. Okay. And then you'll have an emergency fund. It will be looking like we're heading into fall at that point-ish, end of summer. And then what you can do from there, if you want to just follow something a general rule, which is a good place for people to start: 50, 30, 20, 50% on needs, 30% on fun, because congratulations, once you have the $12,000 emergency fund, you can have fun again.
Right.
And then 20% on savings and retirement. What we should start doing, you definitely want to max out your Roth IRA every year.
Okay.
And you don't have one right now. But luckily, you're in such the exciting thing about being 22 and why
I got that.
A lot of us wish we could be 22 again. You got that time for compound growth. Right. So start throwing all that in now. I wouldn't worry about your brokerage until after you max out your Roth IRA.
Okay.
Roth IRA, 6,500 right now is the max. So that's just over a year.
Okay.
And just over $500 a month.
Okay.
Of investing.
That's a lot smaller cap than I thought it would be. Okay.
Yeah.
I can totally do that. I guess just direction wise, I'm okay with not having fun. I'm minimal. I mean, if
fun needs to happen. One, it's good for your relationship. One, it's good just for you to just, if you're going to be here on the planet for only, we're not all here for that long. Have fun, enjoy some of it. But we need to get to a good place and luckily you'll get to a good place quickly. So you can swap it. I personally swap. I mean, I cut down my needs, I cut down my wants, and I invest a much larger percentage. That's just a start of where you can put things in. Mess with it. Switch it around for where you need to be. Okay. I mean, already 10% is going to the 401k, so you would only need to technically to stick to the 50, 30, 20, do another 10% in here.
Right. Okay.
But you can go crazier because then you can start saving for a house as well. We definitely want to max out this Roth IRA every year with your age. But we can start putting money towards a house. And she can start putting money towards a house. And we can figure out what's the house we want to get. What does it take to get to 20%?
Right.
Or what is 20% of that? Okay, how much do we need to save on a monthly basis to get to 20% of that overall house price by a certain date? And then that is how you figure out how much money you are saving each month. Okay. On top of just over $500 to your Roth IRA.
Okay.
If you want, what's the company match? 8%? 6%. You can lower it from 10 to 6%, get that 100% return guaranteed. And then you can save up the rest for the house.
Okay.
And, putting things into a Roth IRA.
That sounds like a plan to me. I guess I'm just running on a timeline right now where...
What's your timeline?
We have a 13-month lease on this apartment. Yeah. It was the cheapest option. And that is done at the end of September.
Well, real talk, because of the situation you have to clean up, you'll likely have to lease again.
And that's what I needed to hear. I'm here for a realistic goal and realistic timeline.
You guys want to purchase in the Austin Metro?
The North Cedar Park Leander.
Yeah, so you'll still be in the Metro.
Yeah.
So still expensive. You'll be looking probably at like unfortunately, $120,000 down. $100,000 to $120,000 down.
We were looking at doing the FHA 3.5.
Careful.
Yes.
You can, but 1 PMI is included, so.
Right.
And 2, those monthly payments for the house are going to be higher than most people are paying. You just want to make sure it is no higher, max 30% of your take home. Right. No higher. That is the absolute max. Try to keep it to about 25%.
Yeah, the 0.3 goal is 0.25. Okay.
Yeah.
That
you can, but that's harder with where home prices are here with your income.
That is definitely bang on right, especially with the interest rates right now.
Yes. That's very true.
Okay. So with that all being said, we have the budget. You have the stage. Well, what do we do here? Just moving forward with the plan.
Get on the budget immediately and start attacking these debts as quick as you can. And then we're saving up that emergency fund as quick as you can. And then restructure your budget to meet your goals, making sure you minimum take the 401k match and minimum max out your Roth IRA on a yearly basis. Beyond that, our priorities of saving up for a home or investing more, or do we want to have a little more fun? It's up to you guys.
That sounds like a plan. I can definitely do that.
Okay. So right now you're in a questionable position, but I think you will be able to get to a good place. But final thoughts.
My final thoughts is I walked in here and I wanted this meeting with Caleb because I didn't have direction. I had a pretty good idea of where I wanted to be. I just didn't know how to be there. And I have played around a lot more than I wanted to, or not wanted to, should have. And I think everything you lined out here isn't hard. It's just making sure to put the credit card down and being like, I don't need to use this right now. It will come. I am only 22. I'm not old like you guys quite yet. But
yeah, I think he's like 22.
21.
He's 21. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, he's not
I'm the old
like
one.
us. But I definitely think you're right. I can clear this up, and the credit cards are really pretty and they're really fun, but they're hurting me. So I think you're exactly right. So that's it. That's all I got.
So for Ethan, he certainly has had issues with spending and going into debt and, having car debt at a not great interest rate for years previous, but he is ready to start kicking some butt. And hopefully this conversation is the conversation that was necessary to light a fire right under it. So Ethan, for now, hammer financial score 3 out of 10, but you will be there at a 4, 5, 6, 7 in these months to come. And I cannot wait for you to get into real estate. You'll eventually be a 10 out of 10, and I'm excited for you. Make sure to follow all the fun things in the description, like my Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.